This recording will show how to install Windows 7 as our Novell client computer that will eventually log into our Novell server. We want to start by launching VMware Workstation 8. Once it's launched, we want to go to File and create a new virtual machine. We want to choose Custom to make sure we have all the options that we want to choose. We click Next. We want to get the default of hardware compatibility with Windows Workstation, VMware Workstation 8, and we click Next. And now the next step is that we do want to use an ISO file. You should have downloaded or have a copy of the Windows 7 ISO file already. Just have to browse for it and locate it. I have it on my external drive, my passport, underneath a data folder. And underneath my data folder, I have a full folder just of ISO images. I'm choosing Windows 7 Professional. This is Service Pack 1 and it is only 32-bit, but that's going to be fine for our Novell client. I go ahead and click Open on there. And automatically detects says Windows 7, and it's going to use the Easy Install. We'll use this for the client, but later on we will not be using this for the server. I go ahead and click Next. It asks for the Windows product key. We don't need to enter that. We'll be using the evaluation mode. This step is very important though. It says version of Windows to install. It defaults to Windows 7 Home Basic off the CD ISO image. We want to make sure that we choose Windows 7 Professional. Underneath personalized windows, you can keep your name. You do not need to enter a password at this time. Go ahead and click Next. It just gives you a message saying that you do not enter a Windows product key. You want to continue anyways, and yes, we do. This is another important step of where we locate the files for our virtual machine. Defaults to our C drive. While in the classroom, when you restart your computer, everything in your C drive goes away, so that will not be good. If you store it on your C drive at home, you won't be able to bring it to class and use the library or make it very portable. So we want to make sure that we do put this on our portable drive. I'm going to just name my virtual machine Windows 7 Novell Client. You can name it anything that you want, but something descriptive is useful. But the location, again, is the most important. Make sure you browse and locate your portable drive. And this is my portable drive. I do have a data folder that I keep all my files under for class. And then I do have a classes folder. At any time you need to make new folders, such as classes or a class for Novell, you just click on the Make New Folder button down here, and we'll be doing that in just a minute. Under Novell, I do want to make a new folder for the virtual machine that I'm working with. Don't store them all in the root of the Novell folder or classes or even under data. It will work, but you'll have lots of files under there, and it gets really pretty confusing as far as which files are associated with which virtual machine. I'll name this the same as I did the virtual machine, which is Windows 7 Novell Client. And again, making sure that it's chosen. When I click OK, it shows it, and that is my portable drive, my O drive. I go ahead and click Next. I keep the default of the number of processors, and I keep the default for the amount of memory. Mine's on 1 GB. It's going to use NATing, Network Address Translation, for a network connection, and we'll click Next on there. And again, most of these will be default. I'll use the defaults for the I/O controller and for the disk, and a couple more. It's going to default to a 60 GB hard drive, which is fine. And you do have an option on the bottom to store the virtual disk as a single file or as multiple files. If your portable drive is FAT32, you do need to split into multiple files. It keeps them under 2 gig files individually. If you have NTFS, you can keep them in multiple files, or you can store your virtual disk as a single file. That's the choice I'm going to be choosing here. It's going to come up with the default name for your virtual disk file, and then we click Finish. When it finishes, it's going to power on your virtual machine and going to start the Windows install. Windows 7 will start up during the regular installation. If we want to see the screen a little bit better, we can do Control Alt and Enter on the screen to bring it into full view. It's going to start copying the files and expand the files and go through the whole installation process. Just wait for it to continue. Your Windows 7 machine will reboot a couple times and come to the network location. Go ahead and select Work Network. And you can click Close. The next process will be installing VMware Tools. VMware Tools will optimize your virtual machine for performance as a virtual machine. This can take a few minutes to complete as well. When it is finished, it will reboot your computer one final time. Once rebooted, you'll come back into Windows just like you normally would. At that point, you'll be able to shut down your computer. Going to start shutdown. This may take a few minutes to actually shut down, especially when you work with a portable drive. There are some fixes or some ways to tweak that to make that be a little bit shorter, but that will be discussed in a different video. Please be patient while it does shut down, and make sure that you come to this screen before you actually turn off your computer. Otherwise, some of your files could be corrupt. So that should be it for installing Windows 7, and good luck.